Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stay Gamers, and welcome. So today I've been working on a few different ways to protect your buildings. Some are a little bit complicated, and some are just really simple, and it amazes me that we've not used them on servers before. So first off, we have a very simple little blast door. We've got a piston at the bottom that actuates, and it covers up the glass. Now, a real big problem in Space Engineers is once you've built a really armoured sort of base, you still want windows in it to see out. The problem is the windows are a very weak sort of part of the structure, and therefore mean that they can be easily broken into by enemy players, rockets, even just light machine gun fire can break them. So if we access this and we actually go back inside, you can see we have this shutter that closes up over the window, protecting it while it's in a fight. Of course, you can increase the speed of the actuator, and you could have a big button in the control room of your base to shut all your windows. And I personally think that just looks like a really cool sort of design, how it slopes into each other. There's a little bit of a gap in where you could technically try to slip in a missile, but the whole idea of this is you'd have turrets and other weapons around this location. That is just to stop a direct rocket hit. Saying that, you could also aim for the piston and try to take that out. So you could also kind of benefit from adding maybe a landing gear under here to actually lock that in place once it's in that position in case the piston fails. Now moving down here, we actually had a quick go at building a smaller one. So I'll spawn my character over here and I'll press the button. So the thing with the smaller one is I think you'd have to use two pistons, one top and the bottom. So you can see how that actuates up. Of course, that would be covered or hidden behind a block. You wouldn't actually see that part. And you've got an alright sort of view from here, but like I said, I think you need to split this into two separate parts. So you've got a top and a bottom. Now the next idea I kind of thought is probably one of the best ideas, and it has two really good features that I like. So first off, this is your fully defensive mode. So you can see here we've actually got this completely lowered into the ground, and say for instance you want to actually use the base, you will simply activate this here. It raises up out of the ground level. So like I said, I couldn't actually mess around with the voxel tool today, so I couldn't actually put these in the ground to test them, so I've just had to put some fake voxel tool up on the top. So as you can see, we've got an actual mini refinery room in this center. So if we press, I believe it's that one, we can actually raise up our little airtight doors, and inside here we have a fully functional refinery room. Now if we go back to the spectator camera and we go underneath, we could also detach the piston. Now why would you want to detach the piston? Now imagine if you go to the top, you can see we've got these connection points here. If we replace these with merge blocks, this technically means we could take this whole module out of the ground, attach it to a ship and fly it to a different location. Simply build another box foundation like this, insert it into the box foundation, reattach the piston, and it means you could relocate your base very easily as long as you've got a large transport ship to do it. That's something I'm going to work a little bit further on, and if you guys have got any ideas towards that, that'd be a great help as well. So moving on to this second design, what I've actually done here is I built this small hangar on top with a vehicle in. Now this doesn't really serve too much purpose. You could use it of course to store your vehicle, but it's more of a distraction for the enemy. So when they come to engage this, what actually happens is they target all their fire at the top of this hut, and down below we actually still have our refinery completely intact, protected by that thick wall of blast blocks. Absolutely beautiful, perfect for a lot of them different situations when an enemy's coming and they're not necessarily the smartest enemy, but they just want to destroy everything that they can see. So I just thought I would test out the top of this hangar, see how much protection it actually offers. So the enemy would be targeting this structure above, trying to damage, trying to destroy it, trying to focus the fire on it. We could even try to target that rover in there, and each one of these blast blocks inside is going to take quite a number of different hits. So if the target or the enemy player is satisfied with destroying this much of it, you can see how long it's taking to actually break that floor. That rover's been completely destroyed. I could focus my fire a little bit more at this building, and the enemy player's like, yeah, I've wrecked that building, there's nothing else to kill in it. So what I'm going to do now is fly away, and we've actually got the whole of that refinery. Let's see if the refinery is actually intact underneath. So we've got one block penetration, and the refinery survived inside. If the player looked through the floor, maybe you'd be able to see that there was a base underneath, but from that distance, especially when he's under fire, he's not going to be able to make up the difference. So anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Just a quick video today. I wanted to show you just a few ways of maybe hiding / protecting your base a little bit better. This system offers two things that I really like. Number one, that you can take it away with you by detaching the piston at the base, and then hooking it up with your magnetic blocks. And the second system, it protects you from the sides, it stops them burrowing guys, them tunnel rats that sneak in your base and blow it up from inside out. So just 2 ways of protecting your base. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.